Hello, hello, and welcome back to my live, Find Out Prim's live on YouTube and Facebook. So today is a special edition. I'm so excited. We're doing something in the morning today with Frenchie Davis. So we're going to give people a few minutes to come on, but we're going to be talking about Goddess Rising. So while people are coming on, we're just going to, I want to ask you, while we're waiting for people to come on, you've seen Black is King?
No, I haven't jumped on that boat yet.
Okay.
I will. I'm speaking to our other co-facilitator. I'm texting, so pardon the distraction. But have you bared witness to this event that's got people all rattled?
I did. I saw it. So, yeah, it was really nice. It's really nice. Yeah, it was really nice. Like, I really loved the way it just portrayed everything. Like, um, when Beyonce first came out, I wasn't too much a fan of hers. I was like, she's an entertainer. She's a great entertainer, but I didn't see her as like, deep or anything like that. But now I'm like, oh my God, I feel like she's really getting deep. Like she's really connecting to her heritage.
She came out as a kid. She's not supposed to be deep.
True.
Not as a kid. Remember,
Yeah.
to give people grace as they grow and evolve.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Z was bitches and hoes and pop bottles to now, I'm a businessman. Like,
yeah.
If we're fortunate, if we're lucky, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, our viewpoints will change. It will grow. It will evolve.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get better over time. So this is a great thing to see her evolvement and what life has shown her. I'm honestly just waiting for the day that she comes from behind the production and just presents herself.
Well, she's starting to because she's already talked about Oshun a lot, that she's Oshun baby, and so
no. I'm talking about an interview that is not a production.
Okay.
About her, not her work.
Right.
We understand and we see her work. We have not met Beyonce.
Right. And I can't wait. I can't wait as well.
So I am really just waiting to meet her. We don't know each other. We don't know, the introvert that she is. We don't know Beyonce. We know artists and the work.
Yes.
So I'm waiting on that day. So I'm still calling out. I want to be unfiltered because everything that she does is filtered. So I am looking forward to the day, and I'm sure that's a lot. And I dig that she's taking her time, but I'm looking forward to that day.
Yes. And so in essence, this Goddess Rising is about that. It's about that evolution, right? And so
yeah.
So full circle. And I loved hearing you saying that because true, it's about evolving. It's about us starting to learn who we are and connect to our roots, connect to our sexuality. And in a sense, that Oshun energy that Beyonce portrays is that sexual energy. Oshun is fertility god, is a sexual god. She's a very tantric goddess, deity. So that's the same thing with a lot of our work that we're doing, whether, we know it or not, we're working with that energy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for chiming in. We are speaking about our workshop, and we started off with the conversation about Beyonce and her work, Black is King, but we are talking about Goddess Rising and how do we develop the goddess in ourselves, and more importantly, the sexual goddess within ourselves, right? Is that what we're talking about today?
That's what we're talking about. And as you're coming on, we want to be able to answer any questions that you might have about this workshop, this 2-day. It's a 2-day workshop with me, Frenchie Davis, and Essence Revealed. So we're going to be talking about the workshop, what it's all about, but we want you to be able to ask any questions. I've been posting a lot on my Instagram and Facebook, so I'm sure that there's questions.
I'm going to do my homework too, because I haven't quite done my homework. I'm going to say that out in open, but I'm coming back around, so I'm going to do my homework as well. What's really awesome about this workshop that we have collaborated on is a 2-day workshop. So that in and of itself, you take a weekend to yourself. Do women know how to take a weekend to themselves? A lot of them don't.
See, and that's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of them don't.
Or have they even created the space to have that, right? Because, as women, as sisters, we take on so much responsibility. The responsibility sometimes we forget to take on is the responsibility of self, because we're so busy taking care of so many others. So this is definitely about taking the responsibility of self. So Goddess Rising is this workshop, and we're going to talk about our sexual evolution. And I think that during the time of COVID, this is really the time to do that. Some of us are fortunate enough to have a little downtime. So what are we doing in that downtime besides watching Black is King, besides wearing face masks? When we come from behind the mask, what are we doing to bring up ourselves when we come on the other side of the mask? When we get to a new place in managing this virus, who are we going to be after that? Who are we going to be as women? What will that mean for us? What will that mean? I've seen a number of posts about being lonely, either partnered with someone or not being partnered with someone. And so Goddess Rising is a workshop about self-discovery, about who you are in the space of that. Who are you evolving as a sexual being in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of downtime.
And I think that's really good points, because I did a post last night, and I was like, 2020, this is our year of vision, and so this is our time. And, so many people have complained about COVID. I can't do anything. I wish 2020 was gone already, was done. But then it really is about getting to do the work, going within ourselves, seeing ourselves.
You bring up a good point. But my thing is, there's plenty to do. But maybe because I'm an only child, I grew up where I didn't have a lot of girlfriends around. So I had to occupy myself. I had to occupy time. And so, thank you, Chime. So more that I had to occupy that time. I've completed another degree. I've bought a home. What else? I have other projects. I have this amazing workshop. I have reading to do. I have masturbating to do. I have shit to do, right? So there are things to do. Either your glass is still half full or half empty.
But I think sometimes it's hard for people, to be like, okay, let me do something. Let me get up. Let me do, I've been so busy myself. And this has been a great time where there's been tons of courses, free courses online.
Not free.
Mine wasn't either. I actually haven't done any of those free courses, but there were tons. And sometimes I was like, Renee, why haven't you been like taking advantage of these free courses? But there was just so much and so much work to do. And I think that a lot of people, unfortunately, because of depression, many different things, haven't been able to find that energy to do the work, to do the courses, to go within. And sometimes, doing this self-work where you go within and you meditate is hard. It's hard to see the stuff that's within you sometimes, and so people get scared. But there is a way to do this work in a fun way, in a loving way. And this is what I love about our work, because we have fun doing the work and getting people to connect to their bodies. So real quick, I want to say hello to everyone that's come on. Welcome, Essence.
Hi.
Hi. And hello to Amy on Facebook, and hello, Reigning Woman on YouTube. Thank you, Reigning Woman, for constantly coming and watching my lives. Love you, girl. I can't wait to meet you. I gotta meet you. So anyway, welcome, Essence.
Hello. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And good morning, NC Worker. NC Worker is another loyal fan who keeps coming onto my YouTubes. Thank you. Nice to see you. I'm coming back again. So yeah, so I'm here with two amazing ladies. I'm even more excited now that Essence was able to get on. She was having some technical difficulties, but she's made it. And hello, man. Hello, man. So we're talking about Goddess Rising workshop. So both of these ladies, these two ladies, I had on my live. So if you guys remember, in the month of May, for Masturbation May, I was doing a series. This is actually where my YouTube Live weekly Wednesdays came about, because in May, I decided to do a weekly series for Masturbation Month and contact like some amazing sisters who work in this field. And Frenchie and Essence were two of these amazing sisters. And I loved my conversation with them so much. I hit them up afterwards. And I was like, let's do a finale with you two and two guys who were constantly coming on, always asking questions. So there was the 6 of us, right? Well, no, 5 of us. I can't count. And then after that, I loved it again. I was like, what do y'all think about doing a workshop together? Because I was like, Essence, who danced who used to be a stripper and wrote this, motivational book to empower women. She could show some of her dance moves, get women to feel sexy, and Frenchie with all of yes, Frenchie with all of
Essence work is really important because there's so much stigma around erotic dancing, especially professional erotic dancing. And as I used to work at a gentleman's club as a barmaid, and I developed some of the most amazing relationships and friendships with these women. And I came in without judgment. I was actually doing business with some owners of a gentleman club, and somehow I was like, "This is great extra money." I was like, "Let's go!" And I met some of the most amazing dancers, and there's so much stigma around them. You have the wives who are like, I better not find him at the club, or what, lap dances in the dirt and the sweat is coming, and like it's just all of this very sad, unfortunate ideology around an industry that can represent erotic freedom for women, and men just happen.
And strippers, the erotic dancers are healers. I'm sorry, I was going to say they're healers as well. And so I've met a good amount of dancers, and they were telling me how much. Yeah, they're therapists. The men would come and
what the job is.
Have issues. Yeah, and I was like, I found a whole new level of admiration for these women, who day in and day out, the courage to be themselves and to dance and to heal others, in a way that many people just, saw as a stigma, and so I was like, yes,
my dance class terrified and leave just feeling celebratory and joyous and celebrating each other and themselves. So yeah, the stigma has people kind of, come in a little cautious and leave celebratory. So, the more that people get exposed to other people, and that's whether we're talking sexuality, gender, race, like the more we expose ourselves to others, the more we see that we're just all people.
I recognize that there was a statement by Rainy Woman. Thank you so much for joining us. Who talks about, there's the good and bad of the dance industry. And there is. However, I think we tend to weigh more on the negativity than the positivity. And the negativity is what's highlighted. We never get to talk about the erotic freedom of women. We never get to talk about the woman's choice to be in the space. We never get to talk about what that income has been able to do for those women.
I have no student loans and I have 2 degrees from NYU. So
I know doctors who work the pole, and if they happen to be multilingual in a number of different skill sets, why is that not okay? And why do we struggle so much as a society with a woman finding her own empowerment in her own space and choices? And so until we begin to focus more and put more light onto the positive, we're always going to, the negative is always going to supersede the advantages that so many women have created for themselves. But that is to say, to bring us back around to this workshop and why we have decided to create this collaboration. And so we have a tantric space, we have an erotic movement space, and we have a sexual freedom space where we talk about all of these different facets and how they come together. And so we're combining our forces for good, people. And
I love that it's from the inside out, right? Because all of this work, I mean, sexuality, especially for women, is all in here, right?
Yes.
We have to start from the inside out. And I feel like with this trio, we get to work that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we get to work it in our dynamic ways, because all three of us come from different backgrounds, which I love. So we come from different backgrounds, but we're both kind of like very passionate about this work. And I'm very passionate about getting rid of, the stigma of taboo of sexuality, and helping people to really just change the way that they see their sexuality, the way that, getting rid of that just the negative about it. And when we were talking about, we were planning a retreat, and one of the things I had talked about was like, getting people to feel comfortable with the dirty talk. And Frenchie brought in that, the important thing, where does that, the word dirty talk come from?
No dirty talk.
Why is it dirty talk? Right. Reframing that. And I loved what Frenchie said. And I was like, yes, this is, reframing our language, reframing our thought process. Like Essence said, it's coming from the inside out. And this is important healing work that us women need to do, so that we can get rid of that shame, get rid of that, oh my God, this is bad, this is horrible what I'm doing, I have to do it in secrecy, And
we just have to be mindful that traditionally in American culture, we come from a very sex negative lens. There's a lot of sex shaming. There's a lot of religious misogyny. And so, it's workshops like this that are going to help change the narrative. This is us doing our part. And I also wanted to bring up, ladies, I had talked to you guys, this is one of my t-shirt brands here. And if you guys who are watching, if you ladies who are watching sign up, I will gift this t-shirt to whoever signs up by tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, and it says, you can see it with the banner up there, but it says, let me find my camera here, because there it is. It says pussy there. I see it.
I love it. I love it. Do we get one? Do we get one too for co-leading this retreat with you?
On the back, it says So pussy means God sent, non-derogatory, all-powerful, life canal, pleasure creator, only consenting, private property, delicious, nurturing, non-conforming, political, and magnanimous. And so
Yes.
that is what is on the back. And you can walk around and you say, pussy, there, I said it because I did it. And, I get so
Other.
compliments and so much positive feedback, and it's always so affirming to me when I wear this shirt. So this is a gift. I will gift this to those who sign up. I will give out 2 gifts, the first 2 people to sign up. And so the value of the t-shirts are $20, but I want to share this with those who sign up for our workshop. So I will gift that. Again, the sizes go up to extra large because I'm all out of my other broader sizes. But, we're going to get busy on the 22nd and the 23rd. We are not far away.
So right now we are in the we're in early bird. So pre-early bird just ended July 31st. And so now we're early bird. The price is $87 up until August 10th, I believe. I believe August 10th. And then the price goes up to the regular price of $97. Mm-hmm. So if you sign up, like Frenchie says, the first 2, you're going to not only get the early bird pricing, but you're going to also get
a pussy t-shirt.
I want a pussy t-shirt. You got to say one for me.
Yeah. I just feel like, it's, a lot of times it's a word that's used is about our bodies and is used to as being weaponized.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Being weaponized against other men. Mm-hmm. And men call other men pussies. And I'm like, that's not your privilege.
And that's not weakness. That's when, like, do you not know what pussies do?
Right.
I'm being a pussy weak.
There's nothing weak about it. And
right.
I just, had to create something that demonstrated ownership and empowerment of this phrase. You have the president saying, grab him by the pussy. It was just getting out of hand, where it's like, wait a minute, we're talking about women's bodies, and to not recognize that and to not recognize the power in it. I just needed to make a statement that demonstrated and say, wait a minute, we have to change this narrative. We have to set the record straight. This is not acceptable. And I feel so excited when I wear this t-shirt, and people are always like, yeah, they're like, yeah, say it, So it's been really wonderful. So for those who sign up, the first 2 people that sign up, I'm happy to give this t-shirt to you. I think I have black and white t-shirts, and so, let's get the ball rolling like that.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some of the things that we're going to do in this workshop very, very briefly. We won't go into all the details, but I do think it's important that we talk about how we start our day, and we start off with our objectives and our goals. And we have education on Tantra and Tantric, and then we have the activities with Essence. You're doing the body movement. And then I'm also talking about identifying barriers to sexuality and intimacy. So that's a lot to cover in 2 days. We're doing we're just asking that you sign up and that you come in and that you take care of yourself.
It's going to be a workout for the mind, a workout in your breathing and breath work, a workout in your body and movement, a workout in figuring out in your heart. There are a lot of things that we were taught, but in your heart, as you stand the person you are today, are those barriers still needing to be in place? Or can they be removed? Is it something you can check out? Are there areas that you've been curious, but you've been told, no, so you never did? It's going to be shaking up all of those things.
And you're definitely going to come out feeling, more connected to yourself, more connected to your sexuality, empowered, and just really feeling like, okay, I know my body. I know how to now, reframe, my sexuality. You're going to feel more autonomous in your eroticness, in your sexuality, and be okay with it. And, you know, I work with a lot of women who come to me. They're like, oh, you know, I lost myself. You know, I was married, or I was in this relationship, and I just, you know, I had sex out of obligation, or, you
Yeah.
know, I was always having to please him and I don't know who I am.
Mm.
Or I have a lot of women that got married early and they're like, you know, I never really explored my sexuality. Well, this is a safe space to really explore your sexuality, explore who you are, and get to know what you enjoy, what you like, and who you are, so your relationships can change, so that you're not just feeling, you know, feeling like you have to please your partner, you have to please him or her, you know, and really get rid of that guilt of taking care of yourself, of doing for yourself. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but we feel guilted for that, you know?
Especially those of you out there who are caretakers of others, whether you're a caretaker of an older parent, or if you're a mother, or if, you know, in any way, shape, or form, you are a caretaker to others, got to be really intentional about making that space for yourself to take care of
Mhm.
yourself, because you depleted is no good for the people that you're taking care of.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then too, you know, there's this notion, we hear this, you know, women are just natural nurturers.
Mhm.
And that is to cajole us into taking care of other people before we take care of ourselves. Hold the fuck on.
Mm-hmm.
You are not required to be a natural nurturer. You are, however, required to take care of yourself, so that if you have interest in taking care of others, then you can do so affirmatively, because you are so enriched in taking care of
Yeah.
yourself, and then you have more left over to give. But
Mhm.
if, you know, women are natural nurturers. Like that's a notion to guilt us to do things out of
Obligation versus
Mhm.
choice.
obligation,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So we have to be real careful about that. There are a lot of women who are not natural nurturers, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, and that is totally okay.
Mhm.
But sometimes you have to put the nurturing of other people down so that you can bring yourself back up. And,
Mhm.
and so many times, you know, in all our work, we come across people, we draw in people who have been depleted, and they're looking for this this extra, what is it, that energy to help bring them through. And in a time
Mhm.
like COVID, when we're managing the pandemic and we're managing our households and we're trying to manage work and we're trying to manage our family dynamics, that's a lot. And so it's quite significant. Um,
You know,
so
and I went through that, like where I seriously had a burnout. And
mm,
that was what led me to leaving the US and live in Brazil. Not that that was the whole plan, but
Mhm.
I was like literally, because I'm a caretaker, you know, I'm a psychotherapist. I was caring for my family, doing so much, like literally, I had 3 jobs. My sister opened up a restaurant. She needed a waitress because the waitress called out last minute. I was running to work at her restaurant. I was at the crisis, you know, like I did so much. And my naturopathic doctor was like, Renee, you're burning out. Like you can't, like you literally can't. You know, she was doing all these lab work, and I was like, you know what? I'm going on a sabbatical. I'm taking my time. I'm doing me, and that's it. And you know, and I set out to take a year and just be in India and then South America and just work on me. And it was like I literally burned myself to the ground where there was just nothing left of me. And I had to, you know, I had to let go of my clients. And it was the hardest thing. But I gave them, you know, to other therapists. And I was like, you're in good hands. You know, I trust these people. But I had to put myself first. And now I came back even stronger and in a different place where I can give more to my clients, but not forget about me. So now I'm more balanced, I'm more whole, and now I'm giving from a different space. I'm giving from a space of completeness, of fullness, as opposed to from a space of depletion. You know, where you can't really give your all. You can't give the best when you're depleted. You know.
Let me ask you something. what did you feel like, because you talk about the difficulty of giving up your clients, what did you feel like right before being able to say, okay, I'm going to do this? And then what was the moment where you felt like at the other side of it, where you were like, okay, it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, or was it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. You know, it's so funny because the day that I left the airport, it just to go to the airport to get to India was so surreal. It didn't even feel like it was happening. And when I got to India, I was like, oh shit, this is real. Like, this is happening.
I'm here.
Like, but up until the whole process, like so much shit kept happening. And it was like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to go. Like I was nervous. Like this happened. Literally, my roof caved in. I had to spend $10,000 to fix my roof. I was like, oh shit, like, okay, all my money that I saved up so I don't have to work while I'm traveling, I'm using it. And I'm like, no, Renee. Okay, like, okay. And like, so finally I was like, all right, I picked a date and I was like, I'm going. It didn't matter what happened. Like literally up until that date, like things was happening. And I was just so nervous. I was like, okay, it's not meant to be. It's not supposed to happen. That date came and I said, okay, I don't care what, I'm gone. And I left. And so up until then, I was nervous. I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to. Things kept coming up. And just eventually I did it. And when I got there, it was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And it was, you know, it was a testimony that no matter what happens, you're unsure, things are going to come up, you know, not all the time, but things are going to just flow.
Right.
You know, things are not always going to be easy, but it's the determination, it's the persistence that got me there, you know, and it was well worth it. It was well worth it. So I just want to say to Reigning Woman, I love you too.
She said she's going and I can't wait to give her the t-shirt.
Right. Thank you for supporting my channel and for always coming back on. And you know what? I would love to hear one of your poems that you've written about this. If you have one handy, can you put it in the chat so we could see one of your poems? Would love to have that. Would love to see that. And thank you for your support. Yes. And hello, those who are here, who are coming on. We'd love to hear if you have any questions, if you know, about this Goddess Rising workshop, anything you want to know, any questions about us, please feel free to ask. This is your time. So we're here. We're open.
Speaking of which, because let's give our viewers the opportunity to know a little bit about our backgrounds and why we've come together to put this together. So Essence, you know, how did you come through and transition through this process from doing erotic dancing? How do you identify as being an erotic dancer? Do you use a term like stripper? Do you a little bit of insight about that? Thanks.
So I come from a time when dancing was not something that you put on. Well, we didn't have Instagram, social media, and all that. And the stigma was such that we didn't let anybody know what we were doing. So I literally went from living an isolated double life where I felt like I was going to go crazy because I was inside this little bubble by myself, to saying, you know what? I want to talk about this because it wasn't something bad for me. I've never encouraged anyone and said, you know, dancing is the thing you should do, because it's not for everyone, especially not the way the industry is now. However, it was a positive experience for me. I learned how to negotiate with businessmen. I learned how to speak up for myself. I learned how to feel comfortable in my body. I learned how to nurture relationships in terms of building clientele. And I thought, the more I thought about it, I was like, you know, these are the things that as women, and especially myself as a survivor of sexual abuse, all of these skills that I had to learn to be successful in the dance world are skills that I need to navigate life as a person who is self-employed. You know, I don't have a boss saying these are your tasks that you need to do. And so it also taught me how to be my own businesswoman. And I just really wanted to come from a different lens with it, to teach women not only how to get your sexy on and how to isolate your booty cheek. Everyone needs a booty cheek isolation in your life, But also, how are these skills used just in the everyday? There are people that my life runs on relationships, I always say, and I had to learn that there. So how do you nurture and develop your relationships, not just romantic, business, friendship wise? How do you nurture your relationship with yourself so that you're comfortable in the skin that you're in, with your stretch marks and your cellulite and whatever your thing is that you think shouldn't be? Like, how do you come to be able to stand confidently? So I just wanted to pass that on to women, because so much of the stripping thing is about, the people who are addicted to drugs and people that get hurt. And while that is a part of it, I've worked with people who were, they showed up to make their drug money. And I worked with people who are biochemists or nurses or teachers. There's everybody in there.
Right.
And so because so many of us were scared into silence, especially as Black women, around sexuality, because our history with sex and slavery and slave masters is so complicated, a lot of times women are shamed, Black women are shamed into not speaking about things that have anything to do with sexuality. So also I'm a big mouth and a rebel, and I'm like, no, that's not going to stand. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being able to speak up for yourself. And I, in no way, I always feel like people think I'm trying to like encourage the world to, wave their freak flag. If you want to wave your freak flag, wave your freak flag. But maybe this is just for you and nobody else. Maybe it's just for you and your partner. It doesn't have to be that you're an exhibitionist on display. So just to give that space for women to embrace their sexuality for as small or as large of an audience as they desire.
Exactly. That is so beautiful. And I love hearing that, because I think so many times a lot of women, when they do this work, a lot of time, not all the time, but they think that, okay, I have to do this so I can find my partner, so I can make my relationship better. But so many times it's about doing for you, whatever space you want, whether it's for you and your partner, or to show the world, it doesn't matter. Just you being able to choose what you're doing this work on, you being able to choose whether you want to be naked for yourself or for the whole world. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I think also one of the things that you hit on that I like is that, you learn how to negotiate in business. You learn how to negotiate in different ways. And so when we work with sexuality in general, it doesn't just focus on sexuality, sex, or relationships. It goes into other aspects of our lives. This is our vital life force energy. And really, when you do this work, you're going to see changes in other areas of your life,
Well,
without
that, Renee, too, because a lot of times, we believe our sexual selves should look like or be a certain physical type. So, that sexual erotic self is granted to certain body types, certain people with certain features. But then there's this entire population of people who feel like it does not belong to them because they're not thin, or because they're dark brown, or because they have big boobs and not little boobs. Like, it's so many reasons, and so we want to make sure that no matter what spectrum you are on, aesthetically, let's be very clear that sexuality as a human is a divine right to all people.
Yes.
It belongs
So
to everyone.
So, Frenchie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself as well, so they can know who you are and what you're going to be doing in this workshop. But real quick, let me say, the Reigning Woman, thank you so much. She said, my place is a truly safe space for women, especially Black women. Thank you, Renee. And I love you, your energy, and your channel. Oh, we read that part already. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Energy is great. And I'm just a reflection of you. So whatever you're seeing in me or us is because it's in you as well. And so we're mirrors of each other. So thank you. And thank you for coming back and being here in this space. So Frenchie, yes, tell us about who you are, what you're going to be doing in this workshop. So,
I am a sexologist. My background spans through HIV prevention and advocacy to domestic violence. I managed battered women's crisis shelters for over 3 years. And from that, I moved on in throughout erotic writing, featured on Def Poetry Jam doing erotic poetry, worked at the Museum of Sex in New York. I was one of the first employees of the Museum of Sex in New York. So I just have this long, extensive background and the honor to work with so many organizations from the state of Michigan HIV to the Department of Health in Washington, D.C., and globally as being a global citizen. And, you know, as a sexual abolitionist, that is what I am. That is the work that I do. I am just here to make sure that people are empowered to have sexual agency and to enjoy that sexual agency and freedom as they so deserve and as they so choose.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I think most of you probably knew me, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself as well. So my name is Renee, aka Prandata, and you know, I'm a psychotherapist. So you know, I started in the U.S. as a psychotherapist. I had a private practice and worked for the crisis center. I worked a lot with trauma, domestic violence, abuse, sexual abuse, and a lot of couples therapy, family therapy, working with individual young adult men and women, mostly women, but I had a good amount of men coming to me as well. And for some reason, I kept getting a lot of couples work, a lot of work about relationships. That was the majority of the people coming to me. And so after me doing my sabbatical and coming to Brazil, I found Tantra, you know, and it was really about me doing my work on myself, on my relationship issues, and me, because I always just thought something was wrong with me, you know. I was like, as a child, I was never one of those people who were like, oh, I want to get married and have X amount of kids and this type of family. I really was like, well, if I get married, it's gonna be for money or for work. Like it's gonna be a business proposition. It's not gonna be for love. And like, you know, like it was just weird. Not weird. It was just like, you know, what, you know, where I was. And then I was like, maybe something is wrong with that. Maybe something is wrong with me. Like, why would I want to get married for love? Like, isn't that what everybody wants to do? You know, and so I decided to do my work in terms of really understanding me and where I'm from and what was going on. And I realized, you know, I am different. Like my idea of the traditional relationship just doesn't work, you know, doesn't work for me, you know, and everybody has their own ideas of what works for them. And so, you know, so I started and through Tantra, I started releasing a lot of blockages, a lot of traumas. And I was like, okay, this is something I need to work with. Like, this is something that would be an extra value to bring into my work as a therapist. You know, doing the tantric meditations where we're doing breath work, we're doing movement, and we're releasing those traumas that stay in our body. Our bodies have cellular memory, and the traumas stay there. So through this body work, it's releasing. And so I wanted to be able to give back to other people what really worked for me, what really helped me to release those blockages and to be able to be open and more free, you know, be able to be more of myself. And so, you know, that's what I'm going to be bringing to this Goddess Rising workshop. And I think the three of us together is just a powerhouse. Like you got three goddesses leading you on the way. Yes. Three powerful pussy goddesses.
Yeah, I'm like twerking on the timeline.
Yeah. And I think the great thing is that we've all done our work. Like, you know, there's a lot of people who come to this who don't really do their work. They go to school, they learn, and then they start working with this. But I feel like all of us, and you know, and this is why I asked the two of you to come on and do this. I feel like you really know your stuff and you've been through your work. You've been through your shit. You've been, you know, we got to go through the shadow work. And it's not necessarily easy, but you guys have done it from what I feel like. And I could see that. And so I trust the two of you to take this on with me. You know, I just don't do work with anyone. And I've done tons of lives with tons of ladies, tons of brothers as well. in the realm of sexuality, but I really trusted you, and I really felt like, you know, this is going to be great with the two of you. So yes. So Mott says that's right. And Rainy Woman said, do you two ladies have YouTube channels?
I do not have a YouTube channel. I'm an old, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm trying to get on the Instagrams, but mostly I can be found on Facebook.
Let's put your information on there.
Well, I will put mine in the messages, but I can be found at Slaverite EC, which will be all one word, which means speak the truth in French, as I am Frenchie. So Slaverite EC. And so feel free to find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I do have a few videos on YouTube, but we're still working through that as I get situated. I had to relocate. So new home, new Slaverite. What can I say? So we're getting ready. We're getting ready. But we look forward to having all of you. You've heard what we said. You have an understanding of what we're going to present in this 2-day workshop. Get ready to do the work. Like this is true emotional labor. So I want people to be clear about what they're gaining and what they're going to be participating in during this 2-day workshop. But we really want you to join us. And again, sign up before the prices begin to elevate. We do have limited space because we want to ensure that we're reaching you on such a level, you know, nothing like a public school where the classes are overcrowded. So this is going to be some really heartfelt, emotional labor, work, and there will be breakout groups with each of us. So you will all have time individually with each of us, as well as collaboratively together. So please follow the links. Our bios are also in the links. And again, the first 2 people to sign up, I will give some pussy. I will give some pussy. I told my mom I'm selling you know, proud of me, but sometimes she just goes like this. That's all she can do. Because, you know, I'm out here selling pussy in these streets. And so I think that kind of concludes our time with you all. But if you have questions, if you have more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. And we look forward to seeing you on the 22nd and the 23rd. And bring a friend. You don't want to
grab a buddy and bring them on.
There you go.
This is going to be it's going to be very intimate. So like Frenchie said, it's going to be, limited space, and the early bird pricing goes up on August 10th. So right now it's $87. For more information, you can visit my website at Prandata Prim, and the link is here on YouTube. So it's Prandata Prim/upcoming events, and you will see all of the information on there. Register soon because we are expecting it to fill up. And again, it's only limited seatings, 15 women. So it's only going to be 15 women, and see you there. And what did you say? The first 2 will get some pussy. Get some pussy. All right. So Randy Woman says, yes, honey, sell pussy on the streets. Yes. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for those who participated. Yes, again, if you have any questions, Randy Woman says she will share this info on her channel. Thank you so much.
Yes, please.
You know what? I'm going to have to come check out your channel. I didn't realize you had a channel. I don't think you've ever said that on here. So I'm sure I will love what you have. I'm gonna make sure I subscribe to your channel right now. So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing on your channel, Rainy Woman. And unless I know you and I just don't recognize your name on this. So excuse me. I'm really bad with these things. But anyway, I'm going to check out your channel now. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you to those who have commented. Love you all. Have a wonderful week. And talk to you guys soon. Thank you, Frenchie and Essence. Guys, have a wonderful week.
Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everyone.
Sign up today.
Okay, bye. And Mott said she already checked you out, Frenchie, on Instagram. Yes, yes, yes. All right, and don't forget to check out Essence as well on Instagram. She's Real Essence Revealed. So let's give love to all of us. And NC Worker says, thank you, ladies. Thank you, NC Worker. Thank you again for coming back and supporting my channel. All right, you guys, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.